Today, I'm going to share with you how to actually make money blogging in 2025, as my blog just earned over $600 yesterday, which I'm going to break down fully. So jumping into this video, let me give you an overview of what we're going to talk about today. So the first thing we have to talk about is going to be the mindset necessary to succeed with blogging and YouTube for that matter. And we need to talk about this because if you're going to skip over this and if you don't have the right mindset, you will never, ever succeed in this business. And it's that important that we need to talk about. But I will share a income report breakdown first before we get into that. And then I'm going to share with you the strategy behind it. I call this the triple dip strategy. So I think in my last video, I called it the hybrid approach. But honestly, what we're doing is triple dip. Blogging, YouTube, plus affiliate marketing. That's how you can hit $600 a day and more. Okay, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And lastly, how to make a top 1% blog that stands out from the millions of unprofitable and honestly completely pointless blogs out there that are trying to do the same thing and are failing. Okay, real quick, actually, I want to give an announcement that we just launched our school community called the Profit Guild. And if you join today, so there's going to be a link in the video description and in the pinned comment below, but you're going to receive my affiliate starter kit, which is valued at $500. Honestly, I think it's worth way more than that. But just to give you a little preview of that, one, we're going to be going live every single week. You can hang out with me and people in the community. I can answer your questions, give you feedback on your website, and honestly just hang out and be surrounded by winners who are actually making money in 2025. And in addition to that, the starter kit you can see here has all of the tutorials, and it's a video course that is going to share the exact strategy that I'm talking about today that's led to $600 a day or more, including these resources like a list of 30 plus profitable niches, a $1 million affiliate website database with over 70 websites to use as examples that honestly I modeled and copied for using the strategy that I'm using today that we're going to talk about. So it's helpful to see where I got the inspiration for this strategy. And then a database of over 500 affiliate products and brands to promote. And lastly, an SEO made simple checklist, an awesome resource. Have this on every blog post for it to rank on page 1 of Google. So if you want to join that, highly suggest you do. Be surrounded by winners, get feedback on your stuff ASAP if you want to improve. Now, jumping back into the video here. So first, I want to do a little income breakdown. How did my blog earn over $600 yesterday? Now, most blogging income reports, when they make good money and when they make, we're talking about the 5 figures per month, a lot of their income, most cases, can come from digital products and selling courses, honestly, when they do these income reports. But this is actually purely just from affiliate and from ad revenue. So like this is the most pure, closest to passive income you can get. And basically we start with Amazon affiliate, which I'll actually jump into the Amazon associates here, just show you a little bit of yesterday, what we did. So we got 1,429 clicks and we had over $12,534 of ordered revenue. So to calculate that, the commissions from that, it's 3%. That's like a very conservative estimate. But on Amazon, you can get paid anywhere from 4 to 10% of that product revenue. And you get paid once it ships out. But this is how much was ordered yesterday. So in the future, when it ships out, sometimes it ships the next day. Sometimes it ships, a couple of days after that, depending on the stock. Basically, 3% of that $12,500 is $376.04 from Amazon, and that is a really, really amazing day from Amazon. Next, Mediavine actually hit a record. So this website just joined Mediavine less than 1 month ago, and it had its first $100 day, and it actually made $189.30, which is insane. It almost broke $200, and it's only been in the program for less than a month. And this is why I'm so excited about premium ad revenue, which is something that I just added to this business. And, it's something we'll talk about a little bit later. And lastly, YouTube AdSense earned $52.61, which, hey, we'll absolutely take that. It's the lowest of the 3 income streams here, but hey, $52 for getting views on YouTube. Anyone who does YouTube will tell you that's a good day, especially if it's a smaller channel. Okay, so the total earnings for this blog and small YouTube channel is $617.95 yesterday. And this is up 288% from last week. I actually did a video about Amazon affiliate marketing tutorial, and I think in the income report, it was $159 earned in a single day. And it was just a normal day. There wasn't anything special going on. And, the thing that I want people to grasp about this business is like, whatever the business earns last week or last month, you can't bank that it's going to be static and stay the same. Okay. This business can explode from day to day, from month to month, from week to week. Okay. And it went up almost 300% from last week. So if you see like $159, and this is mostly profit, by the way, like we're talking 95% plus profit, $0 paid ads. If you see, a blog earns $150 and you think, oh, that's not that impressive, whatever. But then the same thing can earn over $600 the next week. This is why, you need to get away from that employee mindset. And that's something we'll talk about next. So that's a little income report. But if you're enjoying content like this, please take a moment to like and comment on the video. Help me out. I have been inconsistent with the video uploads, but you showed up on the last video. You really helped out boost the video in the algorithm. Please take a moment to do that. It helps me to be motivated to make more content like this. And I'm genuinely trying to help people and genuinely trying to put people in the right direction. So if you appreciate this, please take a moment. It helps me out a ton. And thank you. So the first thing we need to talk about is the mindset that is necessary to succeed with blogging. This is more important than anything else, honestly. And I know that people are looking for hacks and shortcuts, but there's no shortcut to making a business that has the potential to generate over $600 a day and even over $1,000 a day. Okay. So the first thing I want to share is I've been reading a book called Psychology of Money. And what's really interesting is one of the chapters is called Freedom. And it literally says that true wealth in life is the ability to just wake up and do whatever you want with whoever you want, whenever you want. Okay. And that has more or less been my reality for the better part of the last 9 years or so, since I left the 9-to-5 rat race and I built a business that is self-sufficient and that has just given me a life where I can just do anything I want. And I've done all the things that, I've wanted to do for the most part. Okay. So we need to talk about freedom versus other business models, because online, you'll get everyone, all these people who are trying to sell you on stuff that they're trying to tell you that their business model, let's say like an agency or something, is the best thing ever. And it's going to give you all these things. But in my experience, and I've done those things, I had a boutique consulting / agency where I work with high profile clients and businesses and companies. These are like multi-billion-dollar companies behind the scenes. And I've done that. I've done digital products. As you know, I have my mentorship program. I've sold courses. I've done affiliate marketing. I've done literally like almost every business model under the book. I've done software as well. So like, this is the most freedom and passive income you can ask for. This is the closest thing to it, because the ability to make evergreen content that lives on the internet forever, and you get money through ad revenue and through affiliate sales, people just clicking your link and buying something. There's nothing more passive than that. Period. Full stop. End of sentence. Okay. Now, the other lesson that I learned from Psychology of Money is the power of compounding. All right. So 98% of Warren Buffett's wealth was after age 65. All right. So think about that and apply that to your life and your business. You cannot be in a hurry. People who are in a hurry and who rush are the ones who get burnt. It's the same thing with investing, right? So there's a saying, time in the market is more important than timing the market. Everyone today is trying to time the market. You're trying to, chase these little tiny movements when it comes to stocks, crypto investments, and people are trying to just chase the tail of the dragon. You know what I mean? And they're really trying to do something in a game and gamble, really. And they're trying to do it against a whole entire world of competition and hedge funds and quants and algorithms. And you just don't know that, like, honestly, the best strategy that has the highest win rate is value investing and just buying now and dollar cost averaging every single week, regardless if the stock is up or down. You need to treat your business the exact same way. It's like whether the SEO, for example, or the views on YouTube is up or down, you still need to invest every single week. And in Psychology of Money, again, like these lessons are from that book, so I highly suggest you check it out. But they talk about how they have 3 examples of people who were trying to time the market, or one person who just invests every single week regardless if the market's up or down. The person who just invests every single week was making 3 times as much money as the other 2 people who are trying to time the market. Okay, and here's the thing. When most average people who are not that smart okay, are trying to time the market, and even people who are smart try to get smart with investing and time the market, you get burnt because humans are bad at predicting the future. All right. There's another good book by this guy, this channel, Gary's Economics, where he was one of the top traders in the world. And he has so many lessons about this where, even the people who do this for a living aren't always successful and make massive, massive failures. What do you think the average person can do? Okay. Highly check out that book too. Highly recommend you check it out. Okay. So last thing is what you're doing now going to be worth it 10 years from now? Or is this going to go back to zero? Stuff that people are selling you online, like these different business models and things to sell, like be a reseller for a course. You're building up someone else's business, or you're just doing something that will last for like 1 month and then disappear overnight. I'm trying to teach you how to build a business that's going to be worth more 10 years from now. And one example is this business where if we look at the SEO, for example, and the SEO is basically a proxy for the value of this business. And it is true that income has been correlated with the more traffic this business gets, the more money it's making, right? And you can just see, look at this graph. It's going up and to the right, but you see in between this journey that there's dips. There's times where it halves in the SEO. So that's kind of like a stock where it halves in value over the course of a month. But we don't quit. We don't, all of a sudden disappear after it just gets to the first decline. We are used to this, and we need to not be reactive and emotional. Instead, we just keep building, and look what happens. When you keep building, look at the value of this over the course of a year. It just explodes, right? Explodes to over 100,000 organics per month. And we're just getting started, all right? So going back here, let's talk about linear versus exponential growth curves, because most people, unfortunately, you're bringing an employee mindset to a business game that rewards growth mindset. And when you're bringing in this linear employee mindset of trading time for money, we're not trading time for money, okay? To decouple your time from money and make passive income is very hard for a reason. Barrier of entry, and not everyone deserves it, to be honest. Okay, so if you want to be able to make money like this from your website, your YouTube channel on autopilot, and just wake up to your business having made $600 or more in a single day, you have to invest into an exponential growth curve and understand that you may be here at the early part of the growth curve. You probably are. Your business hasn't taken off yet. Okay, and honestly, in this case, I think this business is just taking off, and it's barely scratched the surface. So I really detest the employee mindset, and everybody has it. They have this, okay, I've worked 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. I deserve this. I deserve something. You don't deserve anything. None of us do. Okay. So you need to get rid of that employee mindset. Honestly, it's a broke mindset. I just don't vibe with it. Now, I used to have that mindset, but once you're on the other side of the table and you understand what a winner's mindset looks like, then it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, honestly. And this is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because they have a broke mindset. And when the rich actually take off, let's say your business starts generating real cash, right? And it starts making a lot of money. Guess what? Smart operators are going to take that money, invest all of it back to the business, and the gap is going to widen further and further and further. That is the harsh reality, because as someone who's on the other side of the table, I'm going to invest every dollar of this $600 back into the business to widen the gap with all the newbies and the wannabes. Because I have bigger fish to fry in this niche and for this website, right? I'm looking at the top 10 websites, which this website's nowhere near, and I'm going for them. So I need to reinvest into this so that $600 a day can turn to $6,000 a day. All right. So moving on. Here's an example of a just realistic brand new 3-month-old website. So this is another website that I started up in another niche. And you can just see what it looks like. It's like, back here in the early days, this was actually hitting over 100 Google search impressions per day early, like in the first week or so. And I thought that was incredible. That was amazing. It's further along than usual. But then you see it just disappears. There are so many days where there's 0 impressions on Google or 1 impression, okay? Then it came back a little bit and it started getting 300 impressions in a single day. And I was thinking, okay, we're back now. And, now it's going to be smooth sailing. Nope. back to zero, back to 1 impression per day. But then something happens a couple months later where we break way past the 300 impressions, past the 750 impressions, past the 1,000 impressions, and we get almost 2,000 impressions in a single day. And this is just the roller coaster of a 3-month-old website. But thankfully now, it should be a little bit smoother sailing now that we've established this foundation, but this is just normal, okay? So don't get freaked out if your website, is showing no impressions or whatever. It's like you have to keep investing, all right? Okay, so a couple other things. It's not about what you want. I hear all this stuff all the time from people who, I want to have financial freedom. I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to live here and buy this house, buy this car, whatever. It's like, who cares? It's not about what you want. It's about what the market wants from you. Okay? So put your ego aside and stop saying like, ooh, it'd be so great to have financial freedom, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. This is why keyword research and sales data is important. Keyword research and sales data tells us what the market wants. And I try to follow and give them what they want. And for me, it's all about just shifting the probabilities in our favor. There's no such thing as guarantee. All right. There's no such thing as guarantee in any business, but you can shift the odds dramatically in your favor by doing due diligence and doing the work. All right. Now, the other point I want to make here is that I just focus on riding the wave. I don't try to fight the ocean. Too many beginners are trying to fight the ocean by doing it. They want to make their way. They care about what they want to write about. What they want is sales. Like, oh, they want to get sales, so they go for sales. But people don't want that from you. They want value. They want to be helped, right? Now, Amazon Prime Day is projected to be a 24% year-over-year growth and projected at over $23.8 billion in sales over 4 days. When I say ride the wave, look, there's so many awesome consumer events throughout the year. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, Prime Day, etc. I mean, they make up holidays just to get people to buy stuff, okay? And you know what is awesome about America is Americans are really good at buying stuff, okay? But here's the question. Are you making money from that? Because I did, okay? Are you making money when Americans and consumers all over the world, actually, because Amazon Associates with one link is international. I'm making money from all sorts of countries right now. So are you actually benefiting from those waves? Are you riding the wave? Or are you trying, you're just not participating, or you're trying to fight the ocean by not giving the market what they actually want, okay? Amazon is a juggernaut. And they've perfected cross-selling and frictionless one-click buy. I can attest to that. How much money I've spent on Amazon and how easy it is to spend. It's almost too easy. All you need to do is get people over to Amazon. Amazon does the heavy lifting. They do the sales. They have the credit card information. Get people to Amazon. You get paid for everything in their cart. I can't think of a more beautiful business model where I can just literally focus on selling. I can just focus on marketing, actually, not selling, but marketing. If I can get people to click that link, I make money. Simple as that. Okay, let's talk about the triple dip strategy. So I call this the hybrid approach in my last video, but blog SEO plus YouTube SEO plus affiliate links plus ad revenue equals a passive income machine. This thing is beautiful. This is exactly, it's doing what I had planned for it to do, but to see it come alive in 2025 and to see it actually, firing on all cylinders. And we're not even scratching the surface, honestly. Like the $600 a day, awesome, but that's not even close to what this business can earn. So first of all, this is evergreen. We're attracting customers while you sleep through content, this online real estate that is website SEO for Google search, YouTube SEO for YouTube search and for showing up on Google. Okay. Once you make that content, it is like this fly trap that's attracting customers every day, 24/7, 365, never takes a break. It's amazing. That's what makes this passive income. Secondly, $0 in ad spend. I've spent not a single dollar or dime or penny on ads for this business model, this case study, and that makes it hyper profitable. Again, these business models that people try and sell you on, and they say 200K revenue, but they have a 20% profit margin. Look, that's still good, but you have to add in the added tax and stress of like, what if you're managing a team of 30 people? Okay, you're paying 30 people in payroll and commissions. What happens when you have a bad month? right? And you have that much expenses. It's a very risky play at that level, and the profit margin isn't even that great, and you have less peace. For me, all I want as you get older is peace. You want peace of mind, you do want profit, you want purpose, okay? But if you're doing a business that's not aligned with your peace of mind and your profit and your purpose, maybe it has profit but not the other two, then you need to go back to the drawing board and find a business model that fits your lifestyle. This is the business that fits my lifestyle. That's why I'm still obsessed with it and why I still love it today, because it gives me freedom, okay? So YouTube is the X factor in 2025, and it's primarily hedged against AI. When everyone is rushing to use all these AI tools and just make crappy AI content, what do you want to do? You want to go against the grain and make stuff that cannot be copied and pasted overnight, okay? Next, online real estate. So diversify your income streams while making a single piece of content. Efficiency. If you can take a blog, turn that to a YouTube video, turn that YouTube video into a YouTube short, okay? If you can take that content, turn it into 5 to 10 Pinterest pins, and then turn that YouTube short to a TikTok. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you become efficient and you play this game the right way. That's how you work smart, all right? But how many people are doing what I just said? What percentage? Like 0.1%, okay? Even the big guys aren't doing it. You think small guys are doing it? But that is your leverage. That is how you can get an edge on the competition if you're a brand new small fish in a big pond, all right? I'm giving you the blueprint here. It's up to you to execute and actually do these things because they're going to make you money, all right? Now, affiliate content, here's the cool thing. Why is this triple dip? Because you're doing the website SEO, you're doing the YouTube SEO, then maybe you're doing, Pinterest and stuff. That's only double dip, right? It's only 2 platforms. Why is it triple dip? Here's the thing. We have a totally aligned approach where if you're making affiliate content, transactional content, high purchase intent content, what I learned from the premium ad networks is you make more ad revenue from doing that. And it's awesome because we're making affiliate content with the goal of making affiliate sales for that upside. But then at the same time, we're making more ad revenue because it attracts buyers to the content. Whereas when you make content that doesn't attract buyers, advertisers prefer content that attracts buyers because they're in the right frame of mind. So what I realized is that the method I was doing before of going for pure affiliate marketing is actually also optimal for the most ad revenue. And it's just luck that it just so happened to be that way, right? Now we're getting both of them and then some. We're getting the awesome ad revenue, the awesome, we're getting YouTube AdSense as well, and we're getting affiliate sales. So we have upside, we have a higher floor. It's just perfect, honestly. So how to make a top 1% blog. Now, here's the deal. This video is already going on long. I'm going to have more videos that are going to be screen share in terms of, tutorials on screen and things like that. But I'm just going to give you the quick hits right here. And honestly, these are the things to do if you want to stand out from like the millions of just useless blogs that make $0. I'm going to share with you what I think is the 80-20 right now. The first thing is 12-month plus domain age with relevant content index that whole time. Domain age. How does Google determine what is a trustworthy website that we're going to give resources to crawl and to index and rank on Google? Domain age is one of the first things I would do and one of the biggest factors that I see in my portfolio of sites that makes a difference. So when it comes to domain age, if people think that, you bought a domain a year ago, cool, you have a domain age. No, that's not how it works. You need to have a domain live with content that is relevant to your niche for that time, for it to be aging. So if you don't have that, you need to start that. That's why you have to start yesterday, if not now. Okay, domain age. Second, invest into your web hosting and performance, okay? The reason why this case study and my other sites are able to crush SEO in 2025 is because they are simply better user experiences and they're faster than any of the competition. So when people browse my websites, they're spending over 3 minutes per session, hanging out, visiting multiple pages, okay? And honestly, for me, this is a way to pay to win. If you're able to pay, let's say $30 for the best web hosting versus people who cheap out and they only want to pay $5 a month, but you simply paying a little bit more per month gives you an edge over 99% of the competition who's thinking the same thing. They're all thinking cheap. They're all thinking broke mindset, employee mindset, how much does this cost? Whereas as an operator and a growth mindset, I say, okay, I'm willing to invest into my business. So if it's a difference of like an extra 15, 20 bucks, but my website's faster than 99.999% of websites, that gives me an edge. I'm willing to do everything in my power to get an edge. As long as I can afford it, as long as it's, reasonable, I'm going to do it. Okay. Secondly, create the best user experience and increase engagement metrics, bounce rate, and average session duration. So engagement metrics, how are people engaging with your website? How does Google know how they're engaging with your website if they like it or not? Well, are they literally clicking the back button within 30 seconds? That's how they can tell it's a bad experience for them. Okay. Is it optimized for mobile? Right? If you want to make more money from ads, you better make sure your website is dialed in for mobile experience, okay? And there's so many tricks in the book to get more ad revenue and to increase your average session duration and decrease your bounce rate. You don't want people visiting one page of your website and then exiting. You want them to visit multiple pages, okay? And that's a topic for another video. Look like $1 million website before you're even there. That's one way to stand out. That's one way to increase trust and conversion rates. I always give the example of Wirecutter, but there's so many other websites. Again, I have a database. There's over 70 websites that you can look at, and you can see how just some of them look like $1 million website. Even if you didn't know how much money they actually earned, just looking the part helps you stand out, because most websites I look at are trash. They look like a high school art project or a high school web design class project. You know what I mean? They look like a free blog. And you never want to look like that if you want to actually make money. All right, so invest into that. Next, focus heavily on your EEAT, expertise, experience, authority, trustworthiness to increase trust and conversion rates. That's another reason why I think my websites are doing well, is because we have a ton of EEAT. And the one that is newer and is more important than ever is experience. People want to hear personal experience, and that is anti-AI. That's something that, it's hedged against AI by making your content more human and personable than ever. YouTube is a perfect example because, it's hard to make personal content on YouTube with AI, especially if there's going to be someone, on camera or not. You can just hear it in someone's experience. You can just trust someone based on if they sound like they know what they're talking about, or if it's just generic vanilla ChatGPT generated content. And lastly, invest into YouTube. Okay, triple dip. YouTube is an X factor. It's more future-proof than blogs. So if you're worried at all about blogs, which still works, still make money today, but hey, let's say you're really worried about it and you want to diversify, YouTube is the first place I'd go. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and comment if you want more content like this. Genuinely trying to help people in the right direction, but there's more content to make. So this video is really about the overall strategy, the mindset to get there, because if we don't have the mindset in place, you will never succeed. And so many broke mindset online, you know what I mean? Like in the comments and everything. But I just want to attract people who have the right mindset and to foster that and to build that culture. Okay. So lastly, if you want to work with me one-on-one, and if you want to copy and paste my affiliate website 2.0 template that is earning $600 a day and it's already Mediavine and Raptive approved, you don't have to worry about all the stuff I just mentioned, then you got to check out the one-on-one mentorship program. All right. You can get one-on-one guidance on choosing your niche, your branding, your keyword research, how to get started ASAP. And like I said, domain age, you need to have started yesterday, to be completely honest with you. Okay. So you're already behind the ball if you haven't gotten started, but it's never too late, okay? They say that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now, today. It's so true with this business as well. So link in the description to learn more, book a call. Check out my other videos, but good luck. Catch you on the next one.